Ruby, although he went for the 14cc and now his macro is probably a little bit ahead, he's not really going out and being aggressive or taking another base.
Oh, and a tank goes down. Frozean losing a tank there to mines, and also his vultures taking some damage. He's also getting a little too forward with those vultures, definitely getting overpowered by the much higher vulture count of... Okay, Ruby gotta get out of there now. And lost a few vultures to the tank fire. I'm surprised that Ruby has virtually no tanks. I don't know, I wonder why his tank count is so low compared to Frozean's. Okay, Ruby's got some tanks of his own now, and it looks like they're just going to have a stalemate here in the middle of the map, which I think is going to be in Frozean's favor, because I think Frozean, I can't really tell by the mini-map, but if he's not taking his third now, he probably will be very soon. I think that's sort of what he's been trying to do here, and I think that's a good move. I don't see why you would not take your third base right now. You know, the 400 minerals is not going to make that much of a difference once there are tanks on the map. Because once there are tanks on the map, they're just so much, you know, more effective than vultures, and it really all becomes all about gas. So right now it's all about getting gas, and you want to take your third base as soon as possible, I would think.
Right, Koreans now, although they play very conservative, they still, you know, expand a lot in TBT. But if you watch foreign play, especially TBT, but I've seen some TBT games in foreigners, like in the Yankee League Finals, where they just build so many command centers. But yeah, it looks like Ruby's moving up, and he's gonna pick off tanks with vultures. Just wow, he actually didn't go for that one tank, but he's gonna be moving in and getting some SCVs. Oh, wow, he didn't actually move in there. It looks like he's gonna plant some mines. He's kind of trapped. He's going to get pinned in there. Yeah, he's just moving out the side, so he actually didn't do any damage there. I think Ruby was more, I guess, scaring Frozean and trying to put him out of position there than really doing any damage, because he didn't. Yeah, now he's moving around, and now he's picking off the tanks. Yeah, that was an excellent flank there from Ruby. Ruby's going to take this high ground if he can get sieged in range of those other tanks, but he's losing a lot of his vultures, and Frozean actually still has some vultures left, but Ruby just really nice vulture control there, constantly taking damage. Before, you know, previously Ruby had a tank disadvantage, but now he's up, it looks like 2 tanks after a pretty good flank there, and then picking off those tanks on the side. So Ruby definitely showing he's got the advantage, but his command center just slightly behind, but his position is definitely far enough ahead where I don't think it'll make too much of a difference.
He's got a lot of tanks coming in to reinforce that army. I think with those tanks, if he decides to be offensive, he's going to be able to break that contain and take out the high ground, which is going to be huge for him. It's going to be a turning point in the game for sure. Okay, look, he's moving up. Okay, he's definitely gonna take this over. He's got way more tanks, and Frozean's army just melting like butter here. He's probably gonna be able to go take his third out if he continues being aggressive here. But the question is, you know, does he realize how well he's broken through? It's hard to tell. I mean, you can't always tell. Is there another 3 tanks sieged just, you know, a few inches behind those ones? Hopefully he has the, you know, okay, look, it's too bad. He's just setting up camp here. He got scared off by only 2 siege tanks, where he definitely could have taken those out easily. It looks like he might be going around here. Oh, he's got to watch out for those mines. Those mines are going to take out his tanks if he's not careful. Oh, and the wraith's out, actually. So we're seeing wraiths from Frozean, similar to last game. But, again, I really don't expect them to do much damage, but at the very least a minor annoyance.
Yeah, that's the problem though. Ruby doesn't have a barrack spotter, so he couldn't, after he cleared out all those siege tanks, he really couldn't check to see if he could advance. But that's one of the problems. You just need to be careful in TBT. If you don't have vision, if you don't know whether your opponent, how deep their tank line is, you know, he is going to be happy with taking the small advantage. But I guess those 2 wraiths are going to be pretty useful, because he's going to lose that advantage. But Ruby now sneaking around 3 tanks, so he's going to use his tank advantage to try and do some damage to Frozean's third expansion. Although you have to keep in mind too that he's not in range of the gas, and he'd only hit SCVs on minerals, so that harassment actually isn't going to be too effective. And Frozean spotting that, getting the scan off, and forcing those tanks back. And Frozean going for a counterattack, picking off a lot of SCVs in Ruby's third. So Frozean's actually looking pretty good in this game. Although he had a slight fault in the middle of the map, he's definitely taking back control of this game.
Yeah, I'd say he definitely has the advantage now. His third gas has been up longer, and he just, even though he didn't really kill that many SCVs, he forced them to run away, which, you know, just delays them a little bit. Any time spent that you're not mining, that your opponent is mining, is going to put you behind in the game. It's pretty close right now, but it just looks like Frozean's got enough of an advantage that he's going to be able to slowly build on it. Hopefully, you see one of them starts getting dropships so they can really be offensive. The way the game is now, with both of them having siege tank lines already set up, it's going to be really hard for any of them to attack. So this is the stage of the game where they kind of have to start going for dropships, and hopefully that it's going to come sooner rather than later. Okay, it looks like Frozean actually is going to go for an attack here. Almost got caught by a few mines. I don't know what he's doing sieging up here. I guess he's just trying to get some map control. Okay, I don't know what he's coming in with. 3 vultures, 4 vultures. Okay, picking off a couple of tanks here. He got, looks like Ruby got his tanks there just in time. Hopefully he doesn't lose his Goliath. Oh, that tank just dying for no reason. Kamikaze tank.
Yeah, and Frozean opting not to go for dropships and just sticking with Wraiths. And usually Wraiths is kind of a stagnant play in TBT where not only are you saying as a player you don't want to go to dropships, but you don't want your opponent to go to dropships as well. And, you know, although he's doing a pretty good job picking off tanks, and, you know, he's really getting his worth in with these Wraiths. We saw last game, one of the problems that Kanata had is he, you know, although it wasn't a huge investment, he built a couple Wraiths and then just didn't do anything with them. And Frozean has just been constantly, you know, picking off tanks, forcing Ruby to build more Goliaths than he's comfortable with. And I can't tell whose mines those are. I'm guessing those are, yeah, those are Ruby's.
Those ones right there are Ruby's mines.
Yeah, and all those mines come together. They're all going to get up at the same time, so the tanks aren't going to be able to get those. And now it looks like Kanata making almost a mirror move to what Ruby's doing on this 3rd expansion, and Ruby a mirror defense with those 2 siege tanks and a Goliath. So just dead even play. Ruby moving up here trying to clear out the bottom right, but the mines just completely stopped that attack force. And although it's up to 3 bases and just huge macro, we don't see a lot of units from either player. I mean, both of them really have been trading their stuff just off and on, you know, trying to wipe, trying to gain a little bit of an advantage. But it looks like Ruby's actually taking the middle here, and he's got, you know, a pretty big stranglehold over the map. And although Frozean was able to get that 3rd gas up, and now he's got the 4th up by his base, I can't imagine he's going to be able to get any more expansions after that. So, you know, if this goes to a long game, I think Ruby will definitely have the advantage here and picking off those tanks. So Frozean is actually doing some damage to Ruby's 3rd here. So Frozean doing a little bit of economic damage to swing it back in his favor. And Ruby
what a guy! He's building the command center around the mines.
Ruby forcing Frozean to build that command center off center a little bit. Finally, the very first eBay up from Frozean. It looks like he's going to be putting some turrets up. I'm not sure defending against mines or probably against incoming drops here.
It's probably to defend against drops. I mean, I don't know if you noticed earlier, but Ruby actually got his first dropships out. So maybe Frozean scanned those, or maybe he's just anticipating it. That's probably why the eBay is going up. He doesn't want to get dropped on, and especially considering he's now started taking the entire right side of the map, so he's going to need to get some turrets to try to defend those expansions. He's also going to need to stop losing tanks to these mines. Okay, Ruby setting up a tank there in order to not get his SCVs blown away anymore, but the damage was done. Ruby's definitely behind in this game, and he's going to have to make some moves. I mean, right now he's taking that command center at the top left, but Frozean taking 2 command centers at the same time, so even if he gets this up, which it looks like he won't, because there's some units of Frozean waiting for his SCV, even if he were to get that up, he's still going to be a little behind. Frozean is taking 2 command centers, and he's almost got both of them up already, so he's still going to have a 1 gas advantage. And I'm still really hoping to see some battle cruisers, man. I'm hoping Frozean can get those 5 gases up and just battle cruiser up, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is going on to be a really long macro game. Neither player with a deciding advantage. So, I mean, if there's ever a game when we see battle cruisers, although I doubt we're going to see it, you know, this could be the game. We don't see a physics lab, though, on that machine shop. Ruby dropping 2 tanks. And this is one thing I've really been impressed with Ruby in this TBT. Even though I think Frozean has been a lot smarter strategically and has been making better plays. Ruby is just being so efficient with his usage of pretty much everything. I mean, just constantly getting mines everywhere. Like that drop, only 2 tanks there, and he really stopped mining from that whole area for quite a while, and he's still getting SCVs. And in the bottom right, he had like 10 mines and just 1 tank that was holding off almost 6 tanks from Frozean just because they couldn't get up that one ramp. So Ruby definitely doing real well here, just at least to come back